Good morning. Welcome to Viewpoint, your program of personalities, politicians, and perspectives. He slipped in there so fast I didn't even hear the theme song this morning. We normally open up with Mr. Nat King Cole, Unforgettable, which, of course, is what we are up here. Those of you who are watching on YouTube will quickly know that the strength of this program, my co-host, Mrs. Busby's not with us this morning, but we pumped it up tighter than ever. We have our dear friend, Mr. Searby, who might be known to a couple people out there. So, Tim, we appreciate the fact that you've agreed to step in for Judy. She's off taking the cure. She just had about as much of me as she could stand, and she popped. So we sent her away for the cure, and we hope that she'll come back in due time. I haven't conversed with her physician yet to find out how she is. Seriously here, we always try to start Viewpoint with a kudo or two. We've got several here I'd like to work with this morning. Number one, Moms Who Care. Two teachers, Marla Williams and Cindy Ossiker, retired from active teaching, but they sure didn't get out of the educational field. They left the classroom, but they never left the classroom with their students in mind. And those two ladies have formed a group called an organization, not a group. The two of them are doing it. Moms Who Care. They're smart enough to know that a lot of students show up to classrooms every day. We'd like to think this isn't the case, but it is the case every day with some needs. If nothing else, than a warm coat, for goodness sakes. And so Cindy and Marla have gotten together and they've formed this organization called Moms Who Care. So a salute to them, serious salute to those ladies. They left the classroom, but they never left their kids, Tim.
Absolutely. Yes. Great organization.
And they're doing it on their own. With a little help from the community. Yep. So we're going to bring them on. We're going to talk about that so that our listeners will understand more of what I'm speaking of. Also, the Beast and Fire and Rescue Group, they're having a pancake sausage this Sunday on the 17th, 7 in the morning to 12. Again, an organization, a small community, doing a lot of good, and so we salute them. Last night, Gene and I went to the First Presbyterian Church for a pancake and sausage and bacon supper. Nicely done, very nicely done. And finally, a salute to our future guest, Henry Johnson, who has been kind enough to accommodate his personal schedule to allow me to bring on Tony Reifsteck next week. And she's going to have with her officer, Fruget, talking about this terrible narcotics problem we have in the community and the availability of this product called Narcan that the officers carry on site. And Tony needed the time to talk about that due to an upcoming PR program that they have. And Henry Johnson, God love him, arranged his schedule so that we can open up next week for Tony. So that's a lot of palaver, Mr. Searby. Welcome. Thank you very much.
It's good to be with you. I think we need to start talking with our guests, don't you?
We did bring the lovely Abby Neece and John Andrews, my former neighbor. And when I saw him looking at my house one day, shaking his head in dismay, I knew it was time for me to move.
What took you so long?
So Abby and John, we representing the Lincoln Park District, we're happy to have you with us this morning. Tim, I signed up for another membership at the Park District, but I only signed up for 3 months. I figured that was probably enough cushion for me.
I hope not.
So, what's going on in Lincoln Park District? Who will take the lead? Mr. Andrews?
Well, good morning, Bill. Tim?
Good morning.
It's good to be here.
Nice to have you with us.
I'll probably pass this lead over to Abby here pretty quick, but we're moving into our spring season. We've had a lot of programs over the winter. Abby can go into more of that. She's our program coordinator. She would definitely have more knowledge about that than me. But springtime is a busy time for us. Of course, I look forward to the spring, as everybody does, with the winter that we've had. And it hasn't been that bad, but I just think I'm getting tired of winters. So we're looking for 70s here shortly and break out the baseball bats. And start our spring and summer programs.
I went right through my 70s into my 90s.
Yeah, there you go.
It has been a hard winter for us. We've had the old saw about, everybody gets depressed because we've had a tough winter. Don't go out very much.
No.
And that causes you to have cabin fever.
Yeah.
So I don't know when I first joined out there, and then I had my membership slip and didn't go out for a while, and looking forward to getting back. But I always enjoyed my time out there. I've long since passed the bodybuilding contest, Mr. Searby. That body dissipated years ago. But on a serious note, you don't have to be a bodybuilder per se to go out there and lift weights and show somebody how strong you are. That's not the point of what we do out there. I always met a bunch of nice people out there, and in fact, some of them say, I miss you out there. I don't know what's wrong with them, but we've had people say, we miss you out there, so I said, I'm coming back, and I am. It's kind of a camaraderie thing, as well as what you do for your own body, and it's a matter of not building muscle. It's a matter of staying with what you got.
Yeah. Well, the thing I've noticed, Bill, I've been there since October of 2015, and we have our regulars, which come every day or every week, and they're really committed to health, and it's just good to see them there. But I've really noticed a lot of people. I apparently don't know many people in the community anymore because there's so many new people that come out to our place. Our walking in the morning has gone from me and a buddy of mine to about 20 people now.
Really? That many?
Or more. So it's really taken off, and I'm glad to see that our facility is being used because it's kind of hard to beat. Our prices are very comparable to around the area, and it's a great addition to the community.
It really is.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but
well, if you're, I'll rephrase the word. It's inexpensive.
Yes, it is,
and that's more descriptive of what it is.
Yes,
and it's a great time. There's a kind of a camaraderie that develops among people who come out there at the same time. Good morning, how are you, and that sort of thing. And there's just a lot. There's a lot of things to do out there.
Yeah, and we probably have, I haven't checked lately, but we have around 1,300 members. So, yeah, it's a big group in the community. So we're proud of what we do. And Abby can expound on a lot of things that she's been involved with because she is our program coordinator.
Ms. Neece, go right ahead, honey.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we're happy to have you out here with us. Get somebody out here who knows what's going on.
Yeah, so, I've been with the Park District since, fall of 2016 now, so almost 3 years. But we have a lot going on. I feel like lately our new fitness manager, Jennifer, and I have been working to provide some really good programs for the community, new programs, spice things up, change some things out, kind of keep up with the trends because, things always are changing. So right now, like John said, we're gearing up for the spring, which is always a fun time because for me too, I don't like to be cooped up in the office. I like to be out on the grounds at our facility. So we have t-ball, softball, baseball registration going on for the youth. So we have that going on right now. We also have 2 different kinds of dance classes. We have hip-hop dance classes going on and ballroom dance classes. So for the younger group and then the older group, we have something for everyone. And Jennifer's been working to get, some weights one-on-one programs up and going, get people to kind of, come out, see what we have to offer, some group fitness classes. We always have those going 7 days a week usually, or 5 days a week at least. So those are, people seem to love to come to those classes, kind of be with a group of people. And then, before long it'll be summer and we'll have all of our summer camps, programs, and the pool will be open. So that's really, I feel our busy kind of time where everyone, I think, is out enjoying something at our facility, which is nice.
Was last year your first full year with the pool?
No, that was our second year, full year.
You did a wonderful job of designing that and so forth. Accommodates different levels of swimmers and so on. So one of the things that I've noticed that there used to be and probably still is a bunch of active people on bicycles, stationary bikes. Jackie Pavlik, still doing that, what they call spinning, and define that for me.
No, Jackie's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
She left back in November of last year, Bill. But we have a new fitness manager, Jennifer Prather, who is doing a wonderful job. I mean, she's just picked up where Jackie left off, and membership's up a little bit, and everybody's enjoying themselves. And our spin room is, it has been renovated. We put in some different type of flooring. We've painted the facilities. We've really kind of been busy this winter just trying to upgrade the facilities. Yeah, and get things ready.
Talking about that, John, I've just noticed, I'm not out there like I should be, but I just noticed the last few times I've been out, the building looks great.
Well, thank you.
You guys are
Thank
doing
you.
a super job with that, and it just looked so nice when we came in for the health fair.
Oh, yep.
And that seemed to have a great attendance
It
this year,
did.
did it?
It did.
Yeah, what a wonderful contribution to the community.
Yeah.
And I left all the color coordination up to Abby and Jennifer.
That's why it got done correctly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
You did the right thing as a manager. You knew where to pass.
so you got to delegate, Bill.
That's exactly right. That's the way you're supposed to do it.
I have another question for you, too. I'm pretty sure that my wife, Lorna, was able to use a program called Silver Sneakers. Can you talk about that a little bit? I think there are people my age that might need to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we actually offer silver sneakers and quite a other few programs as well that go along with your insurance. So basically it has to do with your insurance.
Yes.
So it's through them. You just check in with them to see if you qualify basically, and then they'll send you a card, and then at in our fit zone you'll come in and we have a screen, and basically all you do is just scan your card or check in through that, and really it's not too much on our end, but it's something to look into for sure. You know, to check with your insurance to see if you have it, because a lot of insurance are offering that to
Right.
kind of get people out and up, being healthy and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely a great program.
Great.
Silver sneakers now, is that a designation of footwear that you're supposed to wear?
No. It has to do with your age, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm long past the silver stage.
Yeah, you're in the golden sneakers.
That golden melding now. The membership. Let's take the basic membership. For instance, my goodness, I signed up and it was $70 for both of us for a 3-month membership. That's incredible. You get a lot for whatever little buck you put out there.
Yeah.
And the price is always clean, which is very important in a health club.
Yeah, that's one thing that we stress, and we have a young lady that works for us, and she does a great job. You know, my whole staff is good. That's what makes my job easy. So, we're just trying to take care of the place and make sure it's here 40 or 50 years from now. Our motto is to maintain what we have and improve where we can. So, we are limited on tax dollars. Our membership fees help a lot, so you got to offer a good product, before
and you
people.
do.
Right. Well, thank you.
When you walk in out there, there's something's going on. I mean, it's not a mysterious thing. You have people out there who are working together. How much of a staff do you have now, Mr. Andrews?
I have 5 full-time, probably 10 or 11 part-time. Full-time, I guess, is that the term for it? I don't know. We have probably 40 summer seasonal help with lifeguards and grounds crews. So it's quite a few to take care of. And we put a lot of them to work in the summertime. A lot of the kids, probably 30 to 35 kids get jobs for the summer.
Oh, great.
So
Yeah,
What
which
if
we
I'd
are
have to-
hiring. So, yes, we're hiring for summer right now. Lifeguards, ground crews, concession stand, recreational leaders, umpires, head schedulers. So, we have tons of options for kids that are looking to get some work in this summer.
can they go online to get the information, or do
No.
they need to come to
Yep,
to the
come
web?
into
Okay.
the park district,
Yeah.
and Christine, the front desk assistant, she'll hand them an application and they can fill it out, and we're starting the hiring process soon, so gearing up for summer.
If I walk in there with my water safety instructor's rating from 80 some years ago, they're going to say that's not going to be very valid.
You might need to update
A fellow
that.
named Herb Alexander. God bless his soul. He was a great civic gentleman here. Quite a swimmer in our early days. And Herb we used to have American Red Cross water safety instructors out there at the Lincoln Lakes. Learn to swim week. That was a big thing. And it always turned colder it always turned colder, learn to swim week. Anyway, he gave me my water safety instructor's lessons and certification, and I sure earned them. He drowned me several times. Herb was a great guy. Herb was a gentleman by any and all definitions, and an honest man. I had an insurance man tell me that her wife lost a ring, and he paid him for it. And a month after that episode happened, Herb came in one day. He says, "You remember you gave me a check for my wife's ring?" And he says, "Yeah." And he says, "Hand him a check." And he says, "Here it is. We found her ring." Now, that's a moral compass if I ever knew of one.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of a gentleman Herb Alexander was. Anyway, Lincoln Park District, what's the inception? How far back does that go, John?
I believe 1961 was the first year for the
Think of
Park
that.
District, yeah.
Boy, think of the
And
growth.
It was located up there behind Gazzardo's in that parking lot.
Yes.
There was a building there where Edward Jones is, I think, now.
That was an old WW2 barracks.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. But I remember hanging out in there. There were a couple pool tables. Of course, my dad was on the board back then. He was a member back in the 60s. So that's when it originated. And it's been going strong. I don't know what year we moved out to where we are now. I can't remember. But we have a nice facility right now. We're going through, HVAC projects. We just finished one up for the whole complex, and now we're moving into roofing issues. So, as soon as we get that all taken care of, we'll be good to go. But it's costly, and but it's necessary too.
You can almost look upon membership in our Lincoln Recreational. Everybody refers to it as a REC, R-E-C. That's certainly a misnomer because it's anything but a REC, W-R-E-C. You can almost look upon your membership in that as a part of your insurance policy, because it is, in fact, helping you insure yourself for a good life, a productive life, which is very, very, very important. Ms. Neece, how long have you been with us?
Probably 3 years this fall. So, yeah. Right out of college, my first job.
Wow.
Okay. That's interesting. Out of college and been able to keep the job 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, you were in Chicago for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while. A couple months fulfilling an internship, and then came back and got the job as the program
But you're a local girl by birth.
Yes, and parents are too, so Lincoln is my home.
Great.
Yeah.
We were talking about the new pool. I've had a couple people that are new to the community ask about membership and getting to the pool. Can you address that a little bit about what's the cost and what kind of plans are there?
Go ahead, Annie.
Yeah.
Probably know more about than I do.
Yeah, we do have our daily fees, of course, where you can come in and just pay daily to use the pool. But we also do have swim passes, family pool passes. Christine knows, our front desk assistant, she does all the pricing and knows more about that. So if anyone were looking to kind of get more information about that, they can go to our website. We just redid our website, about a year ago. It's beautiful. Really easy to access things. And then also you can call us or stop out. But yeah, we do have different kind of memberships for the pool, which are always good. The family pool pass is $200, and you can have 2 adults and 4 kids, and then you can even add kids for additional fees onto it. So it's a really good deal to use the pool all summer and all the other features that we have to offer.
And it opens
usually Memorial Day.
Memorial
weekend.
Day, right? Yeah.
If the weather cooperates.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
But we have, you know, we have water aerobics. We have the local swim team clubs come out and they practiced all summer at our place. The college, when they were having issues with their pool, they come out and practiced in our pool. The high school's been over, so it's been a pretty busy place. We do have another opening for a slide. When we built the pool, we set it up to have 2 slides. And so if anybody's feeling generous, you know, to donate, the slides are fairly expensive. The last time I looked, the one slide was $150,000.
Oh my, that is expensive.
Nothing is cheap anymore, guys.
Oh my, that seems like a...
Wow.
Yeah, so we thought, they could do with one for a while.
Yeah, that kind of a price. What is your biggest challenge insofar as, well, biggest challenge period, operating Lincoln Park District Recreational Association?
Well, I think our biggest challenge, and Abby, she can chime in with hers too, but I think just the quality of service that you give, you know, it has to be top-notch anymore. You can't take shortcuts because somebody's going to catch you, you know. So we try to put out the best service we can. That's kind of what I stress.
You know, we try to do that for our sponsors here, Mr. Andrews. We don't operate WLCN without sponsors. And so at this point in time, we're going to put forth our best effort to honor them. Go right ahead, Mr. Ash. Having personally paid our bill with the sponsors today, we will come right back to Viewpoint, your program of personalities, politics, and perspectives. Today we're just going to talk about personality and perspectives. And to keep the airline from exploding, we're not going to talk about politicians at all, although the tempting is really great, Mr. Searby. Abby Neece and my friend John Andrews, former neighbor. Yeah, I don't think you know, but I think I'm the reason your father was mayor.
You're the one to blame, huh?
Yeah, I'm the guy to blame. We needed a councilman, and I mentioned that to Pete one day, and he thought that over and decided he'd try that, and became one of our good councilmen. And later decided he'd take a stab at the big ring, and we're happy he did. Yeah. People had a lot of respect for Pete and Joe.
Well, he gave it his best effort.
He did, yeah. And that's all you can ask of anybody. But Pete was a great guy. The gym lunchroom was a thing that we all just drifted towards in those earlier days. So, and then across the street, Mr. Rufa Gallis would give you a milkshake or 2. And anyway, there's a lot of John Andrews has a lot of deep history in our community, and he's continued to serve us. Better than a fare thee well athlete in his younger days. Played a little baseball, and found out it was awful hard to make a big living in baseball. And so he's here serving us in our community in an important way. And Abby's been with us. John's aide-de-camp and making sure things run well out there at our Lincoln Park District. We're lucky to have that district out there. There are a lot of things that people don't even know about. For instance, as modest as it is, you have a golf range.
Yes, we do. When we've been trying to decide over the years what we should do at that golf range, because it gets a little activity, but mostly we mow it. And we've had some different ideas with it, like walking paths and things like that, but I don't want to duplicate anything that we already have in the community. I thought about, solar panels, flooding that field with solar panels, and taking care of our utilities out there. And
Thinking out of the box.
Yeah, I've always thought that south-facing wall on the gymnasium, you could put hundreds of solar panels up there. But the problem with this idea, when I looked into it, they had like 500 openings and 5,000 people applying for those openings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're very hard to come by. But Lincoln College had looked into it too, and that's kind of where I got my idea and went out and talked to them. So just, cost-cutting measures, because nothing is getting cheaper. Everything is going up. So I'm trying to look to cut things, to save money.
Well, his golf range out there ruined my game. I now play what's known as shadow golf, Tim. Hit it out of my shadow, and it's going to be a good day.
And it's a good one.
So, in any event. But you do offer a lot of things out there. A winter basketball program for the little kids?
Yep.
That's very important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, junior roller basketball. Everyone still seems to love it. So, yeah, we offer that every winter, and it's a really good program. So, yeah.
We had probably 75 to 80 kids in that program this year, so there's still some interest.
Yeah.
Right. And as we approach the summer, you really do have a lot of different type of programming at the Park District, right? There's several different things for all interests.
Yep, and I think that's probably one thing that is a challenge for me, or been the biggest challenge, like I said, is keeping up with the trends in society. So making sure there's new programming and just new things for families and individuals to enjoy. So actually right now I'm working on a summer movie series, so movies in the park. That's huge, in the bigger cities.
Yeah.
So the past 2 years we've tried to incorporate at least one summer movie in the park where families can come out and outside enjoy a movie. We have a big blow-up screen, and couldn't do it without our sponsors, but we're actually trying to do 3 this year. So one June, July, and August, so that way it's free to the community. Just come out and get people out to see everything that we have to offer. So we're looking to do that. So we are looking for some sponsors. If anyone, we have a couple though. A lot of people have been interested in it, so it's a good thing.
Just setting that up is a big that's a big deal.
It is, yes.
Just it's a matter of getting it out and putting it in place, and it just seemed to me like that's a big mouthful to chew on for maybe 100 folks.
I think the first one we did, we had around 200 people come out. Wonderful. And it's been growing. Great. So, yeah, I mean, it is something different. You come out and kind of you're under the stars almost watching a movie, and it's pretty interesting. It's a good time, but we do offer, the summer camps. We have theater camp, we have cheer camp, art camp. We have tons of different camps too. So definitely check out our website because there's lots to offer.
And how soon will they be signing up for those things? Is that coming right up?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's fastly approaching. We try to get everything out usually May, so at least they have the whole month of May to kind of look things over before actually, June kind of summer fully hits. So, and I try to get things out to the schools so that, they can see what's going on out at the Park District.
Good. Yeah. It's wonderful. Yeah. I have grandchildren who have been involved in some of that programming, and it's been amazing the different types of programs that you've added, because a lot of people think of a recreational district of just strictly sports.
Sports, yeah.
And just to watch how you've added things, that's exciting. Yeah.
About 12 to 13 minutes to go in a program, and he brings up his grandchildren. That would bring out the whole rest of the morning, not just the hour. Let's go back to the due structure and how that is set up. I comment about my joining for 3 months. You do have 6 months, a year. I think it's just remarkably inexpensive.
Yeah, for $30, that's a full month, full access pass. You can get the weight room with that, all the group fitness classes, the cardio equipment, our new sauna, infrared sauna that we have, you know, the walking track, basketball, volleyball. There's lots to do with just, you know, that 1 month $30 full access pass. So very inexpensive.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And we've talked about fees here the last couple of board meetings. I've brought it up because we've not had an increase in fees for as far as I can remember, and I've been on the board since, well, I was on the board starting in 1990. Of course, I got off in 2015 to become the director, but I can't really remember ever raising the fees, so it's very reasonable.
Here again, you have people volunteering in our community as board members to help run the business of our Lincoln Recreational Association. And it obviously should be pretty obvious that we have to have somebody in charge of the show out there. So they've done a good job in bringing John Andrews aboard, but he came directly from directorship, so he came with certainly a lot of advanced knowledge of some of the pitfalls and some of the successes. What is the one thing that's happened, John, since you've been on the board that's been most satisfactory to you?
Well, I tell you, Bill, I think over the years, back in '90 when they asked me to get on, there was an opening, and we didn't have a lot of money then, and we were not in very good shape financially. Our buildings and structures themselves were not that great. We knew that we were going to have to do something back then, so that was a big investment, and that started in maybe, it might have taken 10 or 12 years before we got to the point where we could even figure out, you know, we had to get into the bond business, and because your tax dollars, you know, they're not going to cover our expenses out there. They're going to help, and I know everyone says how high their taxes are, but if we did not introduce the bonds back in 2001 or whatever, we would not have the facility that we have today. So we've kept the membership low, you know, with the taxpayers in mind, because I'm one of them too. You know, I see how it affects my bills, and but if you don't have the tax money, you're not able to build the buildings. If you don't have the bonds, you're not able to improve the buildings, and that's the thing that I'm most proud of, that we have developed, and we've really got ourselves in a nice position now financially. We're not struggling anymore, and a lot of that is due to memberships too, because our membership has grown, and once it goes back to quality of service, you know, if you put out a good product, they're gonna, you know, come in and take advantage of it. So that's just the development of the whole business. And then bringing people on like Abby, because that's her background.
That's very significant. Yeah.
And it's evident. We're seeing it. There's good programming there. So kudos.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
I try really hard.
Absolutely.
Well, I see a lot of smiles when I'm out there. You know, people are enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
They're doing themselves a favor to start with. They're doing their bodies a favor. Although they may stress and strain a little bit, but there's a payoff on that.
Oh, for sure.
And the payoff on that is increased health. And you can't do anything more for your body than increase what God's given you to work with.
Quality of life, Bill. You know, that's what it's all about. To get up every day and be able to walk and get around, and you're a prime subject for that. I mean, you're a young man, 90-some years old.
You can be the poster child.
You're still moving around, baby.
I was going to say, I better take you to an ophthalmologist right away.
Well, my eyes are failing.
Take you right down Pulaski Street. Get you to Ravi's and Smothers, or maybe Todd Noby.
Maybe that's what it's all about. How do you want your life to be?
Yeah. Well, that's a very salient question. How do you want your life to be? 648-5510. You know, Judy and I get on here and we get so interested in what we're doing with our clients and guests that we forget to ask people to call in. There are people out there at 648-5510 who must have had good experiences at Lincoln Recreation Association. It's kind of too bad that it kind of evolved into that term that I've used a while ago, the rec. They call it the rec. Well, it's anything but that.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any experiences, we've got our hand on the 3-second button, so don't worry about it. Mr. Ash can cut you off like a tree going down. Coming up here, thank goodness we're coming up here to spring soon. Yes. You haven't been waiting on the calendar to roll around. You've been making plans all winter long for your spring activities. What's the first thing that will happen out there?
Abby?
We do have the Easter egg hunt coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right around the corner. That'll be April 20th, actually, 10 a.m. out on the driving range. And it's actually later this year. Last year it was the end of March, and it was not the greatest weather. So I'm thankful that it's a little later this year. And yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We stuff almost 10,000 eggs.
Wow.
10,000 with the help. Generations of Lincoln, they help us. And then Memorial Behavioral Health, they help us as well. So great support from the community. Really couldn't do it without them. And yeah, the kids love it. They absolutely love it. So.
And it's done in age groups, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I think we go up all the way to 8 years old.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it's a good time. We have tons of families that come out. The Easter Bunny comes out, too. So, it's a fun event.
They're not filling these eggs with Crown Royal anymore, Tim. So,
No.
so don't be putting that on your calendar.
All right.
We do fill 3 of them with family pool packages for the summer.
Oh, wow.
So
like
That's a big find.
great.
That's always a nice surprise for a family.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then you're just, after that, you're just full on, right?
Yes.
Yes, with all of that summer programming.
Yeah, because then T-ball, baseball, softball will all be head on from there. Last year we had over 275 kids in the program, so it was really big. It's always big. And then, yeah, from there we have the camps and everything else, the special events. We have family fun swim days where you can come. I think it's the second Friday every month. You can come and pay $2 to get in, or you can bring a canned food item to get in, and then we donate that back to the local food pantries. So
yeah, we try to do that 3 or 4 times a summer.
Yeah.
To give back.
What on Sundays? This being a church community. What time do you open up out there on Sundays as far as the pool is concerned? And that's the big thing for people with children.
Well, I think 10:30.
Yeah.
We have lap
that's pretty
swim.
early.
Well, that's lap swim. There's usually about, I don't know, 8 to a dozen people that do that. But we
and the toddler
the
area
toddler
is open.
pool's open. Yeah, but for the public at noon on Sundays.
Yeah.
And the lap swims, that's a certain age group, or is that open to anybody?
Well, it's mostly adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have a couple that come out and enjoy that. They love it. Swim some laps before the public comes out. Yeah.
Sure.
It's nice.
Okay.
And then we call it our splash pad, kind of. It's the toddler area. So a lot of moms and families come out and with their kids, around 10:30, and then that way they can go home for their afternoon nap. So,
Yeah, we found that out early.
Yeah.
Changed those hours real quick when mothers said, well, my kid has to get a nap.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they gave us the information, because I wouldn't have known.
Sure.
Yeah, we always try to, cater to the community as much as we can. It's what we're here for.
Sure.
Community first.
Right. And then as the summer progresses, then how is the indoor facility used? Is it pretty busy too?
Our fit zone is.
Okay. It just stays pretty active all year, doesn't it?
It does, because when it's 95 degrees out and humid, people want to come inside and work out, but they want to be comfortable. So it stays pretty busy. Our gymnasium slows down a little bit, but it's not regulated with air conditioning or anything, so it gets pretty hot out there. If you want a hot workout, go out there.
You have a lot of walkers that use your gymnasium as a nice, even in the winter. Who wants to work on? Number one, it's dangerous to walk on sidewalks today. So you have a number of folks who go out there and use that in the morning.
Yes, we do.
Start their day in.
It's gotten bigger as it goes on. Like I said, there's a lot. I thought I knew a lot of people in Lincoln, but there's a lot that I don't know, Always new faces.
Yeah.
So.
And how early is it open for those people to walk and to start that kind of is that?
During the week, it's 5 o'clock. We open.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then on the weekends, it's 5:30.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 to 10, pretty much every day.
Okay. Great.
That's pretty early, really.
Yeah.
So you can get a workout almost any time.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Tell us about your sauna room. You spent a little money making a very nice sauna room. I stood there at the door the other day.
Yeah, our old sauna, when I came in, Bill, our old sauna was still, of course, the one there, and I just got to looking at it, and, it was just time to make a change. So I got online and started researching saunas, and came up with the infrared sauna being the most popular these days due to a deeper penetration into your body, taking toxins out. They even tell you when you get out of the sauna, I don't know how many people do it, but you should take a shower to get those toxins off of your body. So I got a group in Iowa, it was pretty close, and talked with them, and they put ours in. Well, they didn't put it in, actually. It was a kit, and my two guys at work, Vern Hazley and Tony Meyer, they assembled it and did a great job. It's very popular. It probably costs us around $15,000, but it's very much worth it, especially on cold days. I like to just stop in and get warm for a few seconds, and then pop out. But it's used quite a bit. Yeah.
So what's the capacity on that?
Probably
half dozen?
6 to 7 people comfortably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is a different kind of heat. It's like a dry heat, so it's not like you're sitting there sweating. It's really I I love it, but yeah, you do have to get those toxins off right away.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
That goes back to the Swedes and the Norwegians, doesn't it? That sauna concept.
You know more about that than me.
The Vikings.
The Vikings. Judy would say the Vikings.
Well, she's a Minnesotan.
Yeah.
Being a Viking herself, she likes to refer to being. My goodness gracious, clock has already run out of time, Mr. Searby, and I'm going to call Mrs. Busby and tell her that we're going to keep you for another week.
Well, thank you. You're so
Jim and I
gracious.
kind of exchanged glances over the desk here. We think you'll work out another week anyway. So, our guests this morning, Abby Neece and John Andrews, representing our Lincoln Park District, a real asset to our community for those people who use it. And if you aren't using it, you ought to use it. Gordy knows it's inexpensive, and it's just making another monthly payment to your doctor that you won't be going to visit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you
I always
for
try
doing
to
great
sign
work.
off with
We
some
appreciate
comment
it.
of some kind, and it would seem somewhat appropriate today, Jim and Timothy. Be the reason somebody smiled today. That would be my admonition to you. Thank you for Viewpoint.